Very good morning. Welcome all of you for my session. We are going to see JavaScript objects and document object model. This is under module number 3 as JavaScript based. And now we will see objects. If in JavaScript, objects are things. So if you know objects very well, then you can come to know the JavaScript too. We have so many things in this object JavaScript objects. We have like primitive values called boolean, and then we can go for numbers, strings, dates, maths, regular expressions, and arrays, objects, and functions. And in this, the values, the JavaScript values, except primitive, or we can call it as an object. And these primitive values are hard coded change at any time. For example, if x equal to 3.14, and then we can change the value of x, but not the value. We cannot change the value of 3.14. So this is the main thing. And this JavaScript is not a fully fledged object oriented programming language, and it doesn't support many of the patterns you would expect from object oriented language like and polymorphism. And it's nothing but this JavaScript object is like it is a collection of named value pairs. We do have these objects are variables too. So in this variables, we do have only a single value only. For example, x equal to 1 or something. And these objects contain many values. So like for we do have name value pairs, like we can by using the colon we can separate the variables, and these named value pairs is called properties or objects. So we can see this properties. In this properties we have some similarities when we comparing to the previous programming languages, like associative array in PHP, and hash tables we can use in C, and in Java we can use hash maps. And these are the things which is very similar when we comparing to that. And so it's nothing but JavaScript object is nothing but it's a collection of named value pairs, we can say. And ECMA script 5, in that script we can create our own objects, we can create our own objects too by giving object dot create function. And now when we see this, if we want to create our own object by using this concept, it is very easy. We can define and create our own object by object literal. And the second thing, how we can create means we can define and create our object by using a new keyword. And if you want to go for object constructor, then you can create object for that particular JavaScript constructor too. And so this is a very easiest way to create our objects by using this object literal. We can define our own object in a single way. So next we will see the next thing, and document object models. So it's nothing but a web page resides in a browser, and it just modified and accessed by all the browser on it, anything. We can call it as a document object model. And in this document object model, this just accomplished through a programming interface document object model. And we do this objects should be standardized in a hierarchical way. And the content, the content which is available in the website or web page, that should be accessed and modified, so that we can call it as a document object model. And we do have some kind of standard organizations like standard ways called window object, document object, form, and form elements. Like for if we see this window object, so this is the topmost, and then it is out of your website. And then document model, document in the sense, it represents the HTML page. Whatever the HTML page, we can, if it is loaded into the browser, we can say it as a document object. And the content which is present in that, we can call it as a document object. And form object, or whatever the content we can script into inside the form tags. And form elements, we can go for form the same as like form object, but using here like a text box, check box, and radio button. So these are the elements we can use in the form elements. And according to W3C, the document object is a platform and language neutral interface that programs and scripts to dynamically access and update the content and structure and style of its documents. So the basically we need to understand what are the previous standard organization we can see in this document object model in the sense. Now the first thing is legacy document object model, and then and then at last we can go for IE4. So when we see this legacy document object model, so in that this is actually in later version, earlier versions we have used that legacy systems, and it just it can access by all the browsers, and but some small portions only it can access, like image, text, forms, like that. And when we see this W3C document object model, actually very well versed, and this was accessed and modified by all the browsers, and we can access the contents like anything, like we can access all the things. And when we see this IE4 object model, this is a version called 4, and this Microsoft IE4 which and then latest thing and above versions can support this W3C document object model. And in this also we can access all those things, all the contents whatever we needed. And we'll see the capability of using this. And we can go for, if you want to script if you want to tag a script anything, then you can go for capability test approach, like whether the method or any properties which is exist in this browser or not. Then we can whether we can do this, or by we can test by using this capability test approach. We can go for this document object model. And this is the this make up a web page, I mean all the web page which you can reside inside this, we can call it as a document object model. We already saw that. And the tree structure is formally called document object model tree, and the root or topmost object is the document root. So this is also a like sibling or parent based one only. The thing the root directory have so many. So we already saw that this object is organized in a manner, like window object, document object, form, and form control. We, under the form object, we can go for so many elements under the form object, like checkbox, radio button, all those things. And in document root, we do have a HTML tags, and under that we have a head tags and body tags. And sibling nodes, this is the sibling nodes. Under that we have a child nodes, and we can access the child nodes through the parent node. So this is how this through directory will go. And document object model nodes. Each element within HTML document is called a node. And if the document object model is a tree, then each node is a branch. We do have a branches called element nodes, text nodes, and attribute nodes. All the nodes in the document object model share a common set of properties and methods. So this is an attribute node, and this is a text node. Based on this, we have a root directory and document object. So this is a root JavaScript object representing the entire HTML document. So this contains some properties and methods that will use extensively in our development and is globally accessible as a document. So how we can access the nodes by using a get element by ID and get element by tag name. So this is how we can access the nodes. And here in this latest comment we have given to 2012 and time, that is in your ID latest comment, and you can access whatever the statement. We can give a get element by tag name or get element by ID. By using the dot operator you can access your nodes. And element node object. So the type of object returned by the method get element. Now we have in previous section we have discussed, and this represents an HTML element in hierarchy. It contain between opening and closing tags for this element. It can itself contain more elements, and this is the property we can use for this.